Hello, hola, konnichiwa, buongiorno, and welcome to knowledgescavenger.com. If you're here for one of two reasons. You're either here for plain English, computer and technology training to learn, about anything really to do with computers and technology and gadgets and how to use them in plain English. That should be why you're here. If you're not here for that, you're probably lost and you're thinking, what am I doing on this site? Why am I here? What is the purpose of me being here? And if that's the case, you should probably find another website like Facebook or something like that. But anyway, so yes, that is the purpose of this site. Plain English, computer and technology training. And that's what I hope to teach you guys, really. So the way that's going to work is there's going to be lessons, and each lesson will focus on one topic in depth. So for example, the first lesson will be the basics of how to navigate around Windows 7 or Windows 8, depending on which operating system you're using. And it's basically going to be that sort of thing. So I should probably start off by telling you a bit about me. Where are my manners? We're about a minute into this video and I still haven't introduced myself. So my name is Nathan. Hello. How are you? I'm 24 years old and I've been working in the IT industry for the last 6 years. In saying that, I am a major geek. Even though I've only been working in IT for 6 years, I've been using computers and building my own computers and whatnot since I was, just since as long as I can remember, probably before I could write and read and but a very long time basically. So I think my chops are pretty much up to scratch to sort of be teaching you guys, and well, I hope so anyway. So I've got experience in many different areas of IT and using computers and technology and everything like that. I've been working at a company for the past 2.5 years now, where we basically provide IT solutions and everything like that to small businesses. So we work with all different types of technology and different kind of systems, and we get to play with a lot of cool stuff. So yeah, I can definitely teach you about many different areas. So there's a couple of things that we need to cover before you begin with the actual lessons proper. That's why I made this introduction video. Besides introducing myself and introducing the site itself, I just wanted to make sure that there was a couple of things covered. So the first thing that needs to be covered is assumed knowledge. There's a couple of things that I do assume of you. I do want to, the goal of this site is that I want to be able to teach people who really don't know anything about computers how to use them. Sort of the goal that I have in mind, or the way that I try and think of it when I'm making these lessons is, would my grandmother be able to understand this? My grandmother is an older lady, I'd have to say, and she's never used a computer in her life. She's never even touched a keyboard or mouse or anything like that, let alone been on the net. So the first thing that I would assume that you know how to do is how to get here to this website so that you can watch these videos. And if you can do that much, then you've already got an advantage over my grandmother. So these lessons really should be super easy for you. In saying that, to get to this website, I would assume that you know how to use a keyboard and a mouse. It's just, pretty common knowledge that if you're on a computer and you've made it to this website, you know how a mouse works and how a keyboard works. So yeah, it's pretty basic stuff. You've watched this video and read the introduction post that goes along with this video. I would assume that you've done that. Otherwise you'll get into the first lesson, you'll be like, hey God, what's going on? I'm a bit lost. Why hasn't he explained all of this stuff that I'm about to explain to you beforehand? Well, if you watch this introduction video, everything will be explained. It'll be super simple and you'll have a great time with the lessons, I hope. Now, the only other thing that I would assume that you have done before starting the lessons proper is watch the Common Terms video or read the Common Terms article. Basically, there's a list of common vocabulary, just sort of some jargon words that we can't really avoid using pretty often throughout the lessons. It's just sort of common words that you'll come across using a computer in everyday sort of life, really. So I've covered those common terms that are used broadly across all sort of areas of computer use and tablet use and whatever else you want to be using in that article. So check that out before you start the lessons, just so you're not confused by some of the jargon words that I really have no choice but to throw around. One more thing that I assume of you at the moment is that you're using Windows 7 or Windows 8. The only reason for that is because those are the sort of two operating systems, or versions of the thing on your computer that you're going to be using. I'm going to assume that you're using one of those two, just because Windows XP and Windows Vista, if you know what they are, they're kind of getting a bit long in the tooth, a bit old now. If you're using one of those systems, particularly XP, you should really be looking at getting a new computer or upgrading or something like that. It's getting a bit old now. It was a great system for its time, but I mean, you should be moving on to Windows 7, Windows 8, and Windows Vista. It's a bit newer. I mean, a lot of people do still use it, but it's really not that different from Windows 7. So if you're watching the Windows 7 stuff, you should be able to get it. And also, it's really not a lot of people's favorite. So that's the reason for not using those other versions of Windows. As for Mac, the only reason I'm not sort of doing tutorials for Mac at the moment is because when I'm making these tutorials, I don't have access to a Mac computer, so I can't really properly do demonstrations and everything like that. So in the future, if I do get a hold of a Mac to make these tutorials with, I will definitely start including Mac tutorials. And finally, Linux or any of those other sort of operating systems, if you know what they are at all. The only reason I'm not going to teach those is because the people who use those generally tend to be a bit more experienced in IT anyway, and know how to use a computer a bit better than your average Windows user. So they're not really the audience I'm targeting. I mean, if you're a Linux user, like an Ubuntu user or something like that, and you want me to start doing tutorials, come on, send me a comment, send me an email, something like that, and if I get enough people telling me, hey, we want these tutorials, I'll start including them by all means. If you have no idea what I just was talking about with Linux and Ubuntu and all that sort of stuff, don't worry, you don't have to worry about it, just ignore it, you're all good. So like I said earlier, these lessons designed for my grandmother. Inside, I don't mean that I want to teach my grandmother specifically. If she wants to learn, by all means. I just mean that that's the sort of audience that I'm trying to target in these early stages, is people who are really sort of not confident using computers at all, or have a little bit of knowledge but want to get better. That's the sort of people I'm targeting. Those lessons, they'll start off very basic like that, and as we go along and as my audience improves and starts to gain more confidence, the lessons will get more and more advanced, and we'll start getting into more advanced topics. So join me on the journey. Yeah. So the lesson structure, or the format of the lessons. The lessons are going to come in two different formats. There's going to be video lessons and text lessons. So the video lessons are going to be like this video. I'm going to be talking to you, explaining things as I go along. There'll be some PowerPoint slides, and there'll be demonstrations. Every single thing that I do, I will do and talk about and explain what I'm doing, and you'll be able to follow along. The text lessons are going to be just purely in article form. I'm going to post them on the site, and yeah, you'll be able to read it, and they'll have step-by-step guides. You'll be able to follow along. There'll be pictures, everything like that. They sort of accent each other, I suppose. How you want to take the lessons. It's really your choice. If you prefer videos, watch videos. If you prefer to read and follow along at your own pace, do that. If you're a very, very unconfident person when it comes to computers, I'd say that the best choice for you would be to watch the videos, just because of the simple fact that with the videos I'm actually doing everything. So you see every single step of the way what I'm doing, and I'm also explaining in a lot more detail. I can explain a lot better detail through the videos than what I can through the writing. So the videos are definitely your best choice if you're going to choose one. I would recommend that you check out both though. I'd recommend you watch the video first, get a sort of understanding of what I'm talking about and the concepts and everything like that, and then if you want to try things out yourself, grab the article and go through the article, follow the article step by step, take your time, and do it that way. That's my recommendation, but like I said, you can do one or the other or both in any order that you want. It's really up to you. One thing that I really, really, really want from you guys though, from all my listeners and my viewers, or whatever you'd like to call yourselves, I really want you guys to interact. I want you to comment, tell me if I'm doing a good job, tell me if I'm doing a bad job, tell me things that you understand or that you don't understand. I want you guys to interact with me, just because it'll help the site grow, it'll help me teach you guys a lot better. And discuss between yourselves, like someone can comment, people can reply, help each other out, comment, discuss things. Like it's really a good way to learn, and it's a good way for me to improve the way that I'm teaching you, and a way for all of us to really grow and the site to grow. So there's going to be 5 distinct sections in each lesson. It's going to be split up into that structure for every single lesson. So the sections of each lesson are going to be as follows. There's going to be an introduction to every lesson. That introduction is going to basically just outline the lesson, tell you what it's about, tell you what sort of stuff is going to be covered, and what we're going to learn in that lesson, really. It won't be too long for every lesson. It's just going to be a basic outline. Following the introduction for every lesson, there's going to be a vocabulary list. That vocabulary list, it's going to cover jargon, basically, like the special technical terms and words that are related to that topic, and that you'll learn throughout the lesson. I mean, like I said, I want the lessons to be plain English, so I will explain things in as plain English as possible, but I really want you to learn the stuff properly as well. I don't want to dumb it down too much. I want you guys to understand the actual proper terms and everything like that, so that when you're I mean, if you're teaching a friend, or if you're speaking to someone who works in IT, for example, so exactly what they're talking about, or you can explain what you're talking about, really, in the common accepted terms that everyone uses in the industry. So that vocabulary list will explain all those terms, it'll give a definition of those terms, and outline them in that way. Following the vocabulary list is going to be the actual lesson itself. That's the bulk of the lesson. That is the key part. That is where I go through and I teach you everything that you will learn in that lesson. So that will be the longest part of the video, or the article. Following the lesson will just be a quick summary. That's like, it's going to be like a chapter summary in a textbook. If you've gone to university or college or even high school, you read a textbook and at the end they've got that summary. It's just really to consolidate all that information in your head, so your head's not just going swimming and going, whoa, what the heck did I just watch. Just compound it all together and make you go, oh yeah, yep, okay, now I see how it all interacts. Finally, there'll be an additional reading section. So this is for those really keen people who want to keep learning more about that topic and want to sort of just get a bit more in-depth knowledge. So I'll post some links to some good articles or some good videos, some additional reading or viewing that'll sort of help you consolidate the information a bit more. That part is completely optional. You don't have to go and view that other stuff if you want. I hope to cover as much as needs to be covered in my lesson itself, but it's just for those super keen people. So that's it. Those are the lessons. Now, how can you contribute? You can contribute in a bunch of different ways. Comment. Please comment. That's what I was saying before. I really want interaction here. I want to see what you guys are thinking and hear your good feedback, your negative feedback, whatever. You want to be a troll and just tell me that I suck for no reason. Go ahead, do it. I just want to see it all. I want to see some activity, guys. Email me as well if there's if you're a bit embarrassed, you didn't really understand something, but you're a bit embarrassed to comment, you don't want other people to see it and think that you're an idiot or something like that. Send me an email, nathan@knowledgescavenger.com. Yeah, I'll do my best to reply to all of your emails, and yeah, if there's something you're not understanding or anything like that, just I'll do my best to sort of try and take the time to explain it to you guys a bit better. You can refer some friends. If you have friends that you think would love this stuff and be like, oh wow, I can't believe there's something like this out there. I've been wanting this for a long time. Refer a friend. Come on, bring them over. Get them into the lessons as well. Just make sure if they're gonna come and watch the lessons that they're commenting and emailing me as much as you guys do. And finally, you can donate. I'm running this site basically out of charity in my part-time. I do work full-time, so in my spare time I'm making these lessons and running this site just because I really want to help people out. I want to get the information out there. I mean, I've been doing it for so long myself, so I've got a real knack for this sort of stuff, but I know there's a lot of people out there who don't, and it's a very sort of scary thing to get into IT if you don't know what you're doing. It feels a bit overwhelming just because of all the technical terms out there and all the different gadgets and different things that can bombard you. So I mean, yeah, if you can afford to donate something, if you think I'm doing a good job, and it's feels like, hey, I would pay for this, I would have paid for this if it existed before now. Yeah, feel free to donate to the site. I'd love it. All the donations that I get will go towards improving the site. So upgrading the web page, or giving you guys some better quality videos or things like that. So yeah, if you could do that, that'd be great. So that's it. That's the introduction out of the way. Let's jump in. Let's get into this. I want you guys to have fun, enjoy the videos. If I'm boring, if I'm a really stupid announcer, and if you can't stand my voice, tell me. Comment, discuss, question everything. If you don't understand something, say, why did you say this? I don't get it. Tell me, please. Again, email me, nathan@knowledgescavenger.com. Do not be scared. I look forward to all of your emails. Yeah, so that's it. I hope you guys enjoy this stuff. Like I said, before you get started with the videos properly, make sure you check out that list of common terms. It's really important. Other than that, yeah, just enjoy it, and I'll see you guys on the proper lessons. Alright, thanks. Bye.